Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity. Okay, today, I always spill some tea and I'm sometimes petty. I'm going to be so much more petty in 2025, especially politically, especially with more stories. And I know some people might wonder, why am I spilling so much tea? And if this is your first time, hi, welcome. I am Handicapable Black Woman. Have I ever said my actual name? Well, my real name's on the cover of the books at the end. Once I do a live and show my real face, you will see me and hear my name, but I'll wait until then. But I talk about so many different things, politics, and real life stories that relate to either politics or current events and disability. And like I just did an episode kind of talking about the nightmare of the health system because of what happened with Luigi, what Luigi did and the situation that he has put himself in. And I did one episode where I was kind of talking about who is the hero, who is the villain, because the Luigi can be looked at as a villain, but at the same time, in a scope, he is looked at as a hero because look at like I say in a lot of my episodes, when you knock down one domino, it's an effect. Something happens, something's going to keep going. Look at what is happening now. Look at how many people are looking closely to it. And I know, just watch the episode. I'm going to talk more about it because I keep hearing people say, we need more stories, we need more examples. I've told a lot, I've told almost all of my story of being undiagnosed, doctors telling me the pain was in my head, not being able to walk, the fight for insurance so I could get diagnosed, and everything in between. I am a living example of the nightmare of the insurance policy companies and medical stuff. But yeah, so I talk a lot about that and being a woman, being a black woman, and being a black woman with a disability, because yeah, I'm a triple threat out there when it comes to the isms, the ableism, the racism, the sexism. I go through all three. And then I have not done a Reddit story in such a very long time, but I'm going to start diving back into Reddit, I promise. And also I'm going to be talking about especially some movies. I did one of what's the name of it? Keep Keep something. It's like I might think of the title at the end, but I'm trying to remember the name of of my title in the YouTube and the title of the documentary because I tied them together. But basically, it's about a religion or basically a cult in a way, in my opinion, that where the men have all the control and there's head men who decide which woman marries what man, but then each man can have multiple wives. Like the head guy had like over 20, 30, maybe even 40 wives or whatever. And some of these girls were like early, mid to late teenagers. And he was like in his 60s, 70s, or 80s. Ill. And some women literally had to sneak out and run away. But I'll probably be talking about that documentary again. But also, yeah, there's a lot of documentaries I've been watching where in some of my episodes I've been using those as examples. And then I know I'm going to be talking more about the Inventing Anna documentary, because who is the villain in this movie? Some people might automatically say Anna, but even throughout the movie, a lot of people saw her differently. And then some people who saw her differently, it changed. Even the way they saw her changed throughout each episode. And some even made like a full circle of, first, who is she? I know who she is. And then, okay, my opinion has changed. Who is she? I'm not sure who she is. Who is she? Back to like just, it was just crazy. Until this day, I wonder, even present day, like after she's been on Dancing with the Stars and everything like that, and even the guy that she says she was only sleeping with, but we can all tell that they were more than just sleeping with each other. It looked like, in my opinion, she had an authentic interest and even maybe close to love, if not love or passion for this guy. And I looked him up and he's like a millionaire now, so because of like social media and stuff. And I don't know, it's just like even like villain versus villain, their relationship and the conflict. So, but anyways, before I get to, that's at least a sneak, like you kind of see where I'm going at with that one, but that's going to be probably a mini series of its own, because like while I'm writing my novel or trying to write my novel, it's like I've been watching different documentaries and watching the body languages and just, and I know that this one's quote unquote, it's real life but with fictional people who like portray the outline of what happened to her. So, but it's like, but then I did watch, like I've been watching other documentaries and things, and also Netflix shows that's more in the fantasy, because I'm trying to keep my, like especially since I'm writing urban fantasy, and I realized late in life that I love it, and I realized late because growing up in a Christian church is so strict and everything like that. So, but make sure you check all of that stuff out, because, well, if you're writing a novel and book especially, it's like it might be kind of fun. And I'm going to be taking things to Patreon as well. And I'm going to be uploading, I'm still looking at different closed cases where it looks like we can actually dig in deeper. I did find one earlier this year, but trying to find different, like, yeah, let's just say I might post it up anyway, because I really want to see if we can at least do something, some justice and stuff like that. So yes, if you can't tell, I'm a nerd. But okay, speaking of Patreon and, well, not, well, the, at least the closed cases or cold cases and everything like that, we're gonna talk about guns, yeah, and 3D prints, the 3D printed ones. And so if you hear me say 3D, that's what I'm talking about, because with some of the situations that have been happening lately, I keep hearing that it was a 3D. And I know in 2018, while 45 was in office, yeah, let's just say there were certain votes and everything that allowed for, I think, like the blueprints to be legal. And there were supposed to be some other votes, because yeah, I looked it up, and I probably will put some of the links in here, but I'm going to be going deeper. Like, I see this is like another issue, like with the health insurance and the 3D and everything like that. I feel like these are issues that need to be covered more. And some of you might be like, but that's not trending, or the health insurance is trending. But it's like, I'm probably going to be talking about that for years to come, because like no one listened to me. It's like, especially I'm at my age, and people didn't listen to me until my mid 30s. And I didn't get diagnosed until my mid 30s. And so my body is in a worse condition because of them. And I think even when it comes to politics and 3D printing, some of the votes allowed our country to be in a worse condition, because they didn't listen to us. They didn't listen to the public and the people in this country who want to be able to go to school in a safe area, and not like during math class you're more worried about, is the person that's being bullied or the bully or whoever, did they bring a 3D to school? Because a lot of people are owning these 3D machines now, and a lot of people with 3D machines are offering to get paid jobs to 3D print, because the economy is, yeah, well, okay, the economy for millionaires and billionaires are great, but like when you work minimum wage, you're starting your own business, or you're trying to pay off student debt, and or you just had a baby, and or you're trying to save for a house, or you're trying to pay for a house, but you can only rent because of like mistakes in your past, or credit cards, or student loans. And yeah, a lot of things relate back to student loans, but I know it's just our country did not listen to us. And it's to a point where what do we have to do? Because like the 3D print like blueprints are out there now. What are we going to do? What do we, like so many people have them, and like some cases end up being cold because they were done with the 3D. And it's ridiculous. It's awful. It's horrifying. We don't have this issue in other countries, but it's really funny how one particular party keeps saying it's like um 3Ds or guns don't like eliminate people. People eliminate people. And they don't care what it's like. In a lot of people, they have collections, they want to own so many. And one reason why they voted for 45 is because they can own as many as they want, and no one's going to take, or and he's not going to take their second amendment away, while we still have school shootings and everything like that. Like sometimes I just want, but then like that same party will turn around and say like their prayers and stuff like that. And I'm a Christian, so it's like, yeah, I understand prayer, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you pray for change. Sometimes you pray for change. And there's that one saying, it's like if you keep doing something over and over and over again, repeatedly, the same exact way, but then you don't get the result that you want, yeah, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. But I just feel like, especially when it comes to certain politicians and so-called leaders, because yes, like even though you're in politics doesn't mean you're a leader. Yes, like because I think that way with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. Yeah, even though you're in politics, even though somehow you got more votes than the other, it's like I still don't see you as a leader. No, I don't think I ever will. Especially when you say, like, just the other day, Marjorie Taylor Greene said something about like if they do like another like lockdown and things like that, and we have to stay in our homes. She's not doing it, and she will bang bang the drones that are in the sky and everything. And I'm just like, what are you gonna shoot them down? Like, what are you gonna do that with? What are you gonna like? Because you might end up harming innocent civilians when you do that. So. And then also just saying that, it's like, okay, are you really saying you are a leader? Instead of like waiting to see, okay, let's see what facts are out there. Let's just calm down. Let's just calm down and figure out what is out there. Okay, does anyone have an like concrete answer? And until like we can't we can't just make things up because yeah, like when a certain somebody says that people are eating cats and dogs, we are in a society where people believe that mess. So, yeah, we have people that are not leaders. We have people who will say anything for power. And so, if we have a society where certain people will say that, especially a certain nationality and race, are eating cats and dogs, and people believe them, it's like maybe that shows you that you need to be careful, because now you are harming. It's like they had to close places, shut down schools, and shut down like, and people couldn't go to work and things like that because of the threats that you haven't like. So yeah, but when it comes to, and I mentioned her because like I mean, she's just mentioning that she wants to go bang bang to these drones, and it's like you need to be careful with how often or when you mention your 3Ds or your gun. Like, you have to be careful when you talk about these things because they're not toys. Sometimes when I hear a certain political party, the Republican Party, I'm just going to say it, like, they act like they're just toys. And then they'll wear these pins of like some of the like guns or whatever on, like, because they want to just promote and be so proud. But then we keep having school shootings. I think they said like this year is like we broke a record. And so whenever people say America's number one, yeah, when it comes to school shootings, mm-hmm, yeah, we can say we're number one. But then they want to take away our education when, yeah, we have so much work to do on our education. But that's a different story for a different day. But at the same time, maybe when you start paying teachers right and giving the schools all the necessities and all the things that they need, and also encouraging parents to not treat a teacher like a babysitter, and knowing that when the child gets home, like, some parents are against homework, but I'm just like, okay, do you want your child to succeed or no? Like, because I'm not saying a lot of homework, but this, like, when I was teaching first grade, I made all of the homework like games. And it's like, even like with colors, I would tell my students to go home, and it's like some of the parents had my cell phone number, and I'm like, okay, I need you to find one thing from every color of the rainbow. And then their parents would take a picture of it and send it to me. And if their parent didn't have the cell phone, is they would try to find small items so they can fit in their book bag, and then the next day they would show it to me for credit. So those are like so, but the kids had fun because they get to go around the house. It was like an adventure. They were doing investigating. So, but anyways, like, okay, that's another story for another day. Cause yeah, there's a lot of things that even with my books and some of the things I'm creating, I'm doing it in a way so that this, like, the kids can move around, get giddy, and things like that. So, but okay, here is, well, you guys already know how I talk a lot and everything, so it's going to be a two-parter. And I didn't really talk so much about the 3D guns and everything in this episode because I don't know, it's like over the last few weeks, especially a week after, or two, maybe 1 or 2 weeks after 45 was reelected, it's crazy how those hateful, awful messages have slowed down tremendously. And it's like there's one guy who matched with me on Facebook dating, but then he, it's crazy. Like, I have so many episodes I need to do, but it's like, as you guys already know, novel, greeting cards, the activity books, all the other stuff. But there was one guy who was just like 2 times. He's like, some of you guys are just begging for attention. And it's like, okay, you begged for enough attention when you voted for 45. We all know, calm down, sit down, and behave. But then there's men who they don't want to read a profile. They're showing that they don't really read much and they don't really take time to educate themselves on who they want to take out. They just see a picture and they like either they either they are how do I say this? Garden hoeing and they're looking for a new garden hoe, or they're just bored, or there's so many different reasons. But a lot of these guys, they don't read profiles. I don't know why they don't look through it, because I am a Democrat or liberal or progressive. I do not date Republicans or 45 MAGA lovers or whatever. I state that in almost all of my profiles. It's like, if not all of them. And it's like, if I haven't been on one in a while, that's why. But yeah. And so it's just really crazy how years ago in November of 2022 when I first started putting this on, because I just kind of realized this a few months ago that I put everything that men hate about me in my standards. And so now with some of my dating nightmares that I've done, I'm going to redo them because men just keep proving that they hate me, that they hate who I am, and they hate who I'm trying to become. Because I listed, like, a lot of these guys hate that I have my higher education. I busted my tush off for my bachelor's and like my double minor, but also my double master's and 3 certifications. A lot of men cannot stand that, and that I want to adopt and foster. I want to be like, I want to have my own kids too, or have my own kids the natural way too, but I want to adopt and foster, and a lot of men hate that. And I also I want someone that has investments or something, because I'm tired of men telling me they want to go out with me, or they want all this other stuff, but I always get the project ones. I get the ones where I have to help them get their lives together, and I'm trying to get my life together, especially after all the terrible stuff I've been through. They need gas money, they need help, they need stuff. Like, no, I'm done with that. And politics wise, it's like, yeah, a lot of these men don't get it, or some of them are like, what does politics have to do with it? Well, you're voting my rights away. And then even having like, I remember, I'm going to talk about this in another episode, but having certain conversations with men shows you everything. When they try to tell you Muhammad Ali was a good for nothing, selfish, conniving, blah, 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 and then you try to tell them how they are wrong, and yeah. But then when you try to bring up 45 and how he got out of it, oh no, no, that, then they start shaping him like he's a hero for where he was smart enough to, and it's just like, wow, one didn't go to war because of the racism and the hatred against him, and our country was literally forcing him to fight for people who hate him, who, like, when there's whites only, black only, water fountains, restaurants, and things like that, and you're going to just degrade him and his humanity, and not going to treat him like a full adult, but you want him to fight for this country. And then compared to yeah, it's like, whatever. Well, you guys know. And it's just annoying, and it's so frustrating. So, but the thing is, like, if I compared when I first posted my list compared to now, it's like crickets. Crickets. Because a lot of them used to want to get attention from me, or they thought I was going to be that loud stereotypical black woman and just like yell at them and do all this other stuff, and they don't know me. I'm petty. So because at first I didn't know that I was going to have the YouTube channel, but then when I realized, I have all the like, for all the years people said I was lying, or there's no more racism, or there's no sexism, or black men don't say this or that about you, they don't try to, it's like, it was like so much juicy petty evidence, right, like access to it all. But now I feel like some of them are realizing what they have done, and now I meant to pop some popcorn tonight too. But yeah, it's like popping popcorn. I'm just gonna, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm still playing around with my recipes for my uh herbed oil and everything, because oh my gosh, like the two different styles I have right now, they taste amazing. But yeah, if I just feel like we're gonna need to eat some popcorn during this, and might as well be a little healthier. So I'm gonna get that ready for you. But anyway, I'll end it here, but just know we have to, our country is not listening to us. And Martin Luther King even wrote a book about when people don't listen, then sometimes violence occurs because People are not paying attention and listening. And when you look at what Luigi did and then you look back and see how people are reacting to him, it's like, I feel like some people need to read that book, especially some of these CEOs who want to treat people like garbage, pay them minimum wage, and not treat them fairly and humanly. Yeah, I think we need to back up and pay attention and listen to humanity, because some of us aren't being treated like we're human. And millionaires and billionaires feel like they're better than us and they can treat us like absolute garbage because of their millions. And a lot of them are Republican, and a lot of them are Christian. And like, there sometimes I keep thinking about the passages that say, like, the rich is supposed to be giving to the poor and just giving upon everything and stuff like that. And it's just like, that's not America. That's not America. So I'll end it there. But anyway, I'll let you listen to part 2 of my pettiness, and I'm going to have more evidence and stuff about 3D printing and things like that. We need to put a stop to this because we already have enough of these guns and stuff being sold. And some people have like 20, 30 of these, like, no, like, but then we wonder how they keep getting into children's hands. And then they place laws and stuff like the locks and stuff for them, but then a lot of adults don't want to use them, and or they leave them out or whatever, and then the kids get access to them, but then we wonder why. And there's still, like, the CEOs seem more concerned about, and I know every life matters and everything like that, but a lot of society doesn't think Black Lives Matter. So yeah, that's a different story for a different day. But I just keep remembering that one, like, during COVID and everything, when there kept being white supremacists, literally, like, either the two men who chased down that African American gentleman and they eliminated him, and then there was the other guy who went to the one of the stores and literally eliminated 8, 9 people, Black people, on purpose, Black people. But did you hear, like, he didn't get the terrorist. He didn't get that. And they know that he didn't get that because they don't care. So when they try, like, sometimes when I hear, like, all lives matter, it's just like, no, 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 no. History proves that's not the case. History proves that's not the case. But you want to make sure we don't learn our history because you want to repeat it because you liked what it used to be. But you want us to remain, you want a lot of people to remain ignorant, arrogant, naive, bigoted, and dumb. That's how you want America to be. But yeah, sorry, I went over. Like, okay, enjoy part 2. Thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handy capable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.